welcome to Titanium Talk Tarot, and today I will be doing a Are You Knocking Yourself Out of Your Intuitiveness this week, and how? So, uh, yep, so for that I will be using some concepts from SuperConscious Education. I will also be using my intuition mainly. And with that being said, my gorgeous triple T's, let's get into the concepts mainly. So the first group I'll be divining for are my perfectionists, the individuals who intuitively know how things should be done in order for them to turn out great. So are my perfectionists knocking themselves out? I get a yes even before I started the question. I was like, oh dang. But then towards the end of the week, why am I turning my head at it? Towards the end of the week, you will rein yourself back in and be like, okay, I need to get serious about this because I'm definitely going off the deep end. I need to be back on route with my intuition. So, but why are they knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? And we got conditional choice in the upright. So, my perfectionist, are you looking to see how things should be done, and or so are you aren't you're what I'm getting is that you're not necessarily listening to your intuition, you're actually listening to the conditions that the situation finds itself in to decide on what's best. But the thing is that usually for those who don't have this intuitive style, that would work great. But for you, who intuitively know how things should be done in order for them to go on well, you don't really need to take the situation in consideration. The surrounding conditions do not need to be a factor in your suggestion making. Is what I'm getting. Because you just know. You just know. You just know. All right. So that's what I got for you guys. Now on to the helpers, the individuals who intuitively know who how to make the situation better by bringing their aid to it. So, are my helpers knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? I got a yes and a no. Alright, so why are they knocking themselves out? I'm going to do that again because nothing completely showed itself. So, why are my helpers knocking themselves out? And we got resolving a negative issue about yourself will lead you to reacting, which will make you a little bit indirect, which will lead you to making choices through default and calling them conscious choices. So my helpers this week, be mindful of what it is that you're trying to resolve about yourself, because it might be actually the thing that's getting you deeper into schmoot, as the French Canadians would say in regards to shit, schmoot. Yeah, I think I'll say schmoot from now on. So now on to the achievers, the individuals who like to set goals and attain them one by one. So Can you make some sense? Okay, so what are my achievers? Okay, wait. So, alright. So are my achievers knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? I get a no, a yes, and a no. Why are we on a seesaw? Because of conditional choice. So you're yes, no, yes, and no, yes, no, whatever. It can differ for every single one of you, but just be mindful that it's mainly because of conditional choice. Because you are choosing through conditions that are surrounding the situation. And that, my achievers, is not the best thing. The only condition that you should be wondering about is how you feel about the situation you want to bring clarity or direction to. Okay, because you are the one constant in your life. Nothing else. So if you put your faith on you and on God, and if you put in the effort and the necessary stuff, you will be able to, make some sense of things. Does that make sense? All right, so now on to my individualists, the people who intuitively know how to be. So either you are the center of you either know how to become the center of attention, or you intuitively know how to get to be the center of attention to help a situation along. So you don't so this group would not always be the center of attention. They would just be selectively the center of attention when it is best for their objectives. Okay. In Armenian, we have a saying: when it allows your cart to be pushed forward, that is the only time you like to be the center of attention. Okay. So, what? Maybe, maybe. What is this maybe for, please? No, seriously. What could this maybe be about? Okay, and you got resolving a negative belief about yourself. So, my individualists, I feel like you are knocking yourself out because you are trying to resolve something that you believe about you that might not even be true. But you're like, well, other people are telling me that it's false, so I'm going to fix it anyway. But the thing is that there's nothing to fix. It's just other people's issues with that one thing. Now, if, in fact, there is a big problem that is arising from that one thing that people are telling you about, then yes, go fix it. But if it's, you have to be discerning in the sense of, are they telling you this because they feel uncomfortable with what you can do, or is this being brought to your attention because what is being brought forth is actually hindering your movement forward? So there's a very big part of it that needs to be discerned by you. Also, take everything everyone says with a grain of salt. Okay, not everyone knows what's best for you. The only one that does is yourself. So please take that in consideration. Now, on to my investigators, the scientists, the individuals who prefer black and white, who aren't so good with hues of gray, when they like cold hard facts, who intuitively know what the cold hard facts are, and who intuitively know how to eliminate all subjective details that are put into the pot of information that has been gathered. I hope that makes sense. All right, so are my investigators knocking themselves out? I get a definite maybe. I need something more clear, please. Yes, no, yes. Okay, so that's what the maybe is for. So for the different sets of investigators, okay, this might apply. Meaning, which means it's not for all investigators, it's for some of my investigators. So we shall see why. Stop. Okay, so it's all about resolving a negative belief about yourself. What is it that someone told you? Well, I'm getting that the same suggestion applies in this case, which is be discerning, be able to see the difference between subjective information and actual factual, quantitative, and important information that would actually serve you. If it's not going to serve you, let it go and move on. If it will, well then take it under consideration, and only if it is going to help you advance. Okay? So that was for my investigators. Now on to my loyalists. So are my loyalists knocking themselves out this week? Well, I'm tapping my room. So I'm getting yes. It's like tinge of a no. So it's you start off strongly knocking yourself out. You're like, I feel like you're not even trying to see why you're knocking yourself out. You believe that you're not, even though all signs are pointing towards the fact that you are. So you're basically, I would not be surprised if universal signs comes out. So are they knocking themselves out? Well, I got reaction versus responding, and also resolving a negative belief about yourself. I guess something's up with the astrology this coming week, that is making us all second guess about ourselves. Well, Mercury is in retrograde also until I'm not sure until when, but Mercury is in retrograde. So take that with a grain of salt. Till mid-May, I think. So really take that into consideration. Now, so you're reacting to something that has been brought to your attention that, by the way, the resolve a negative belief about yourself is making me think of other people are telling you something that they believe is wrong with you, when in actuality that is a sign that something is wrong with them. Okay? But just because Mercury is in retrograde does not allow them to tell you what to do. So you have to be able to stand your ground, A, and B, make sure that you don't react, that you actually respond. Take the higher road. Be the more evolved individual in the situation. Because that way they might be pissed off at you, but in actuality, they will come to learn something very important, which is a key for them in any situation. So in any case, if it's not going to be from you, if they're not going to learn this lesson from you, they're going to learn this lesson from someone else. And if you don't want to lose this friendship, I suggest you check yourself, because you are going to wreck yourself. It's harsh and it's kind of mean. I know I don't know all the details about this person, and frankly, I don't need to know. I've had many friends get out of my life because they were not the right fit for me at the time, and vice versa. And I'm not ashamed of it, but just take things with a grain of salt and be able to be discerning, because sometimes friends you want to keep can actually drag you down, okay, instead of lifting you up. So be mindful of that. Okay, now on to my enthusiasts, the individuals who intuitively know what to be enthusiastic about and how to get others enthusiastic about it as well. Okay, so are my enthusiasts knocking themselves out? I get a note with a slight tinge of a yes. So I get that towards the end of the week, you're becoming a little too confident in your abilities, and due to that, okay, you might be knocking yourself out of your intuitiveness without even trying. So, or without knowing is the actual term I should be using. Without knowing. What is it that's making them knock themselves out without knowing, please? Well, they're refusing to respond and refusing to react, which means they're being neutral, so people don't really understand what's going on with them. And you're choosing through default. You're not actually choosing the choices that you want. You're choosing through what the situation makes you think you need to choose, instead of following your intuition, which is knowing how to get others enthusiastic about things that you are enthusiastic about. So you're choosing what to say. Well, I mean, if you think about it, if your choices that you're choosing through default are based on the personality of the person that you're interacting with, to figure out how to get them to want what you are enthusiastic about, that is kind of like telling you that you do what you do best, but it's in the upright. So either you're moving too fast and you're not choosing the right, you're not making the right choices because you're moving too fast, and you're not actually taking the time to really understand what needs to happen. Okay? So that would be for my enthusiasts. Now for my protectors, the individuals who intuitively know what to stand with and protect for as long as possible. Okay? Now, so are my protectors knocking themselves out this week? I get a yep and a no. A no and a yes. A no and a yes. And a maybe. Well, I mean, no and yes makes maybe. So why are my protectors knocking themselves out? We got reaction versus respond and choice through default. I guess there's something in the stars this week that everyone's getting the same things. So my protectors, you are not really knowing what to protect because you're reacting versus responding to the situation at hand, which is basically making you react through a choice that was made because of a default condition that is right in front of you. Okay. Now on to my comedians, the individuals who can use all of the aforementioned intuitive styles to get to make sense of a situation. So, ladies, angels, and gods, are my chameleons knocking themselves out? I get a yep and a slight no. So how are they knocking themselves? Now we get universal signs, conditional choice, choice through default. Oy. So, my chameleons, you aren't really following your intuition, which is going to allow you to basically know what needs to get done in every situation. And due to that, so you're following universal signs, which is leading you to conditional choices, which is making you choose through default due to a condition that is surrounding the situation that you find yourself in, which is going to bite you in the ass because you're not following your intuition. So my gorgeous triple tears, this is all that I have for you guys this week. If you like this and if you would like me to go deeper into your specific situation, please contact me at the email box below, and it'll be my pleasure to assist. In that same box, you'll find a little description of this video and my price for private readings, as well as the email you can send donations to on PayPal if you feel so called. By the way, I am now on Betwixt, on our website. Okay, so I put the link in the description box below. And with that being said, my gorgeous triple tears, I wish you guys all a very good week, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.